with weapons, think about the left hand and the right hand having a little bit of a tug of war battle going on. So anytime this hand touches the weapon, think about physically how that might affect that weapon. If it's like near the top or in the middle. And also think about where that weapon is going to pivot from. It's not going to pivot up here. It's going to pivot from probably the wrist area. So you want to think about that as well. So there might be some translating and rotating going on. So as soon as that hand touches the side of the weapon here in this reload that I did, there's a little bit of like this give, and I'm just grabbing. There's a tiny little lever up here that he's pulling back. There's a little bit of like this catch. All right, so then it comes back into view, and I'm thinking like, okay, there's the elbow there. It's holding still. There's the moment where during the tug of war battle where the right hand says, "Oh, I'm being moved," and then it says, "Nope, I am going to stay still," and push back a little bit. Same thing with this pulling out the magazine here. You want to have a moment where it latches on and then it connects and starts pulling on the magazine here, and it's going to pull at the right pivot from the wrist. And it's not going to come out exactly perfectly. There's going to be a moment where it's pulling, and maybe there's some resistance there. And then over one frame, snap. They both, the left hand and the right hand, kind of go in opposite directions as that energy is dispersed. Then we have the left hand throw the magazine off to the side. And then I like to think about how I want this magazine to come back into view. Because I am reusing this same model, I don't want the left hand to enter in the same place where it left the screen, because I want it to feel like it's a new magazine. So I start to change direction and come over to my right side a little bit, like he's pulling out a magazine from his right hip instead, and then you can slide that in there. And you might have somebody that can really slam a magazine into a gun perfectly, like running at a keyhole and hitting it exactly. It's very rare. So I like to show a little bit of the points where it's not perfect, where the magazine is maybe hitting on the edge and he has to sort of slide that magazine around until he finds the hole, and then it goes in. And then I like to end with like, a slap of some sort. Here, I'll show you from this view what's happening. You pull that gun, that magazine out, throws it, and then here the magazine comes back into the view, into his hand, and then he has it again to pull, slide that magazine into view. This is something else I wanted to call out here. After you pull the magazine out, make sure you keep this right arm alive. We still want to know what's happening. Generally, the hand is got to prop that gun up because now it's not being supported by the left hand anymore. So it might need to tilt upward to make a new base of support. And as it anticipates the magazine coming into view, I tend to lift it up just a little bit because it's ready to slam down. So that's like my telltale sign of I'm ready to receive this magazine. So it's coming down, and then they meet together in the middle there. And you can choose if you want to add like a little bit more power in the weapon or in the hand. Then they would just sort of clash and hit in the middle and create a little bit of tension by having tighter movements until this magazine gets slammed inside. Regarding the timing of these, a reload generally is not more than 3 seconds. Like a 90 frame reload is extremely long. This one right here, 75 frames, so this is about 2.5 seconds. If you're doing a reload, I would not go over 90 frames. If it's like a weapon that's supposed to be really fast and maybe not as powerful, I would make that like 2 seconds.